We have three other members of our panel up here who we haven't heard from, but I'd like to give each of them the opportunity to introduce themselves and maybe speak to some of their involvement in some of these ongoing issues. A couple of people from the Parkersville community in particular, and there's been an extreme focus on gentrification in that neighborhood, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves and say a few remarks about your involvement and your concerns.
Well, I believe it's important for me, anytime I have an opportunity in a public forum like this, and especially in what we're facing, I think it's very important, if nothing else, for me to say, I am honored to be part of, affiliated with Keep It Green.
Amen.
In certain circles, that's not a popular thing to say. What I'm saying is this battle, and that's what I call it, a battle that we're in. There's a lot of powers that be that we hear in our communities and just in general. So much negativity. I'm saddened by some of the, I guess, tools that people are trying to use to think somebody like the Paulizana Civic Club, myself, who's a pastor in this community, would fall into a scenario that we're so blind that we can't think on our own and we need somebody else to lead us. But that's what we have to face every day. But myself, the Civic Club, I'm as part of the Parkersville Planning and Development Alliance, and that just birthed out of everything that has been happening. I'm blessed to, my mother, when her mother passed away, my grandmother, everything was left in my mother's name. My wife's side of the family, same thing. Our properties aren't tied up in heirs property, so we're blessed. But we see a lot of things that are going on in our communities, how the land is being closed in our communities. And so that's why it's getting personal to me. I'm seeing some of the things. I sat at tables where developers came in, say one thing. I'm always, and I'll end on this. As a preacher, you know that means I got two more I'm going to end on this. But seriously, I'm going to end on this. This is what we have, that I have to, and Vince along with myself, we have to continue to battle and take back to our communities. I sat with developers, and I heard them, I guess because they hear that I'm a pastor, they have to put on whatever label they think they have to put on to relate to me. But don't realize I see through a lot of things. Just because you put a symbol on a sign, don't impress me. And to be approached like that, it's almost like coming at me like Judas.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into a sermon. But
Hey! Preach it!
But I'm just saying we're here, and when it's time to show up at the meetings, our communities will be involved. We know that we're in it together. We're not here to say we're against, we don't want no development. But I come from a history that we don't quite like having things stay the same. We do like a little change. Reiterate once again, when we're in this fight representing our communities and all together, when I put my name attached to it, Vincent put his names attached to it, we know that we're going to go against the us against them mentality. You just don't know what we have to go through, but I'm standing here to say we're going to go through it all the way. I thank God for
This is Dwayne Draper, Chairman of Keep It Green. We would appreciate your continued support of our work to protect and preserve the Waccamaw Neck. Thank you.